Assalamualaikum, my name is Hassan Chaudhary. You're tuned into something hot. I have with me Amna Isani. We're here with a review of What's Love Got to Do with It.
Absolutely. What does love have to do with it?
Love's got everything to do
Everything
with
to do with
everything.
it. Gee.
This review is primarily going to be in English. We apologize for that. No, we don't really. Do we?
No.
I don't know. We don't apologize because it's an English film.
Yeah.
And it's meant for an English audience.
Gee.
Or it's meant for an audience that's able to understand and speak English.
Gee.
So, with all due respect and apologies to people who are not that fluent in understanding English, हम क्या कह सकते हो?
जी थोड़ी बहुत हम उर्दू डालते हैं
हम उर्दू डाल देंगे माफ कीजिएगा
जी
जी Amna, we watched What's Love Got to Do with It.
We went to the cinema on
Last
Saturday
week,
and we watched it on Saturday this weekend. It released in Pakistan on Friday. We watched it on Saturday.
We were quick to watch it.
We were very quick.
We don't want to miss it.
We were very eager and very quick to watch it.
And also very quick.
And I'm very happy to see that the cinema was very abundantly popular.
I told you it's full, and you said no. This is like कहाँ से भरा है? मैंने कहा बड़ा बंदा आया देखने.
हाँ, but ऐसे ऐसे आते गए थे लोग फिर.
काफी लोग.
It was a good turnout.
Yes. What was good to see that it was a Saturday evening.
Yeah.
And it's not like we've got a lot of movies.
Absolutely.
Screening in cinemas. There's still a lot of people.
And people were enjoying it, and we could hear laughter in the cinema and all of that. So background क्या है जी इसकी फिल्म की? Background ये कि जी इसको लिखा और प्रोड्यूस किया है जुमैमा गोल्डस्मिथ खान ने. जैसे कि आपने मेरा इंटरव्यू देखा ही होगा जी उसमें उन्होंने कहा कि for this project I'm going to call myself Khan.
She said for all work related things or projects, because her name has always stayed as Jemima Khan on projects on her previous works as well, so she would like to go with Jemima Khan, not Jemima Goldsmith Khan, just Jemima Khan. For all other purposes her name is.
जिस पे लोगों ने पूछा why is she calling herself Khan, और अम्मी ने भी मुझे पूछा कि खान क्यों, तो मैंने उनको बताया, मैं कहा until she marries again she can keep the name. I mean I think यही है ना legality.
I don't know.
I think यही है.
Quite a detour.
We quite like the name Jemima Khan.
We like it.
Yeah.
It's been written by Jemima Khan solely. She's the only writer who's been credited with the story. But producers mein, there's not just Jemima Khan. There's also
Studio Canal.
Tim Bevan, Eric Fellner, Nikki Kentish Barnes. And of course, it's been directed by none other than Shekhar Kapoor.
Absolutely.
He's a veteran filmmaker. Shekhar Kapoor ने आपको पता कौन सी फिल्म बनाई थी?
Elizabeth.
Bollywood, like
really. Monsoon Wedding?
Like really fantastic Bollywood. One of my all-time favorite.
Which one?
Mr. India.
Of course.
Was directed by Shekhar Kapoor. Acha ji. So off to the plot, and then we can.
Well, the cast includes the fantastic
Lily
James. And the entire cast is fantastic. But you've got Lily James, you've got Emma Thompson, you've got Shabana Azmi, you've got
Sajal Ali.
And of course, none other than Sajal Ali.
But you've got Shahzad Latif, who plays the male lead. And then you've got Jeff Mirza, Alice Ewing. There's a cameo by Rahat Fateh Ali Khan as well. There's Oliver Chris. There's Asim Chaudhary, who's got a really fun role as Mo.
Mo the matchmaker.
Mo the matchmaker.
Yeah.
Acha ji. Off to the plot.
जी genre इसका है rom-com
जी
और कहानी है ये
as rom-com as they come.
हाँ, it's like a chick flick rom-com.
Not a chick, I won't call it a chick. I enjoy
it. It's a rom-com.
It's a rom-com.
It's a rom-com. Yeah.
It's a very enjoyable rom-com. Plot
यही है कि जैसे कि ट्रेलर में आपको काफी evidently था कि there's the two friends who are living on 45 and number 47 on the same street, and the girl is British. And the boy is British as well, but with Pakistani origin. और उसने ये कहा कि there's a continent between us, and that's true.
45 and 47 are two different continents.
Are not next door. There's a continent between.
He says 45 and 47 are two different continents.
Absolutely. And the story is that they're looking for a match for him, and he agrees to go into the arranged marriage route.
Assisted.
Which they now call assisted marriage. And उसकी दोस्त जो होती है, she's a filmmaker, और वो ये कहती है कि यार, how could you agree to this? And he says, because instead of falling in love, you walk into love. And then she also makes a joke, Stockholm syndrome, which is also in the trailer, which everybody's seen. And उसके लिए ये बड़ी एक unbelievable सी चीज होती है कि एक बंदा जो है, who's grown up in the UK and who's British, would agree to an assisted marriage where it's not based on love. And especially with a girl who's never met. And he's agreed to that. Parents' choice. How? So she decides to make a film on it. So she starts documenting the entire process. And therefore the entire film unrolls. The minute you see what's his name, Kaz and Zoe together, you're like, they're going to end up together. And then in the middle, you say, okay, maybe they won't end up together. So, of course, do they or don't they? You'll have to watch
That's
the film.
the story.
Yeah.
Zoe is, of course, Lily James, and Kaz is, Kazim is Shehzad Latif.
Ji.
I think एक छोटी सी बहुत minor सी detail आपने miss out कर दी, वो ये कि Kaz is living with his entire family, his parents, his brother, his sister-in-law. They're all living in this one house. On the other hand, what's her name? Zoe is not actually living with her mother. Her mother lives next door. Zoe, of course, was raised in that very house, but now she's living independently, and she is a filmmaker. She's pursuing filmmaking. She's already made a documentary, and she's apparently won an award as well. So now she pitched a couple of ideas to her producers, one being honor killing and other such topics. And they said, this is all really boring. Why don't you come up with something interesting? And that's when she says, okay, my friend next door, this guy who I was raised with, is getting married and has taken the assisted marriage route. Yeah. Why don't I cover it? Yeah. And the guys, it's all done in a really comical and funny way. Yeah. Because obviously they tick off certain
things.
Contractually. They come up with names. It's like, okay, a South Asian minority group, and like, assisted marriage and take, and like a female filmmaker, great, go for it. And so that's how the story then unfolds. Shadi hoti hai. So the girl that the parents and, everybody kind of sort of agrees on is played by Sajal Ali. Memuna. Ji. The character who the guy...
Memuna, who he first meets on Skype, and it's an extremely cute meet on Skype, which we see. And then they go to Lahore for the wedding. Yeah. And therefore the entire drama unravels and you get to the climax.
Sajal के Memuna के साथ Kaz की शादी होती है, नहीं होती. जी. Kaz or Zoe end up together or they don't. That's the entire story. Yeah. And if you're interested and want to know more, you should and must watch Love. No, not love contractually. You should watch What's Love Got to Do with It. Amna, so as Pakistanis, when we're watching a British Pakistani family being represented in this film, what are your thoughts on that?
So what I loved about the film was that it gave you both lifestyles. It showed you the differences without being offensive to either culture. That's what I really liked. It was not passing judgment on either culture. कभी-कभी आपको ये शक होता है कि यार ऐसा तो नहीं कि at some point they're going to say that, oh, this style of lifestyle is wrong and this is the right way to do it or this is the wrong way to do it. I didn't feel that anywhere in the film. It was like these are two different ways of doing it. What would you like to do? They were both acceptable and they both had their flaws and they both had their strengths, but there was no judgment call, oh, this is good and this is bad. So for me, that was very refreshing.
If I were to sum it up in one sentence, I'd say it's a very fun, entertaining, beautiful British Desi film. Because even if you look at the British family, like, Lily and her mother, the माँ का concern नहीं है कि मेरी बेटी की शादी नहीं हो रही. It's a very Desi thing. Yeah. Your parents are worried about you not being married and you not finding a partner. And she also turns around and at one point asks her mother, why do I need a man? Why are you so hell-bent?
Why do you feel I'm incomplete?
Why do you feel I'm incomplete? And then it's beautifully explained by the mother. I won't go into in detail, but so very well explained by the mother what the problem is. And that is applicable to the Pakistani society as well. Absolutely. It's not like Pakistani women here are incomplete without men or without husbands. Yeah. But the same thing applies here.
Perception वही है.
Perception वही है. The perception तो जो भी है, लेकिन वो जो reasoning है वो इधर भी apply, वही reasoning apply करती है. और slowly आहिस्ता अब यहाँ पे वो वाली चीज लोगों को वो realization आना शुरू हो गई है. So very beautifully, depicted in this film. दूसरा, the British family in the British family with Pakistani roots in Britain, उनके क्या मसले मसाइल हैं, उनकी जिंदगी की उनके value system क्या है.
वो बड़ा cute scene है when they're leaving for the airport and वो Emma Thompson का जो character है, I forget the name, वो कहती है, oh, you're too early, Kaz, why are you here? And he said, because you're not going to get randomly selected out of a line for an extensive check at the airport, a security check. But he will. And although he's British, but the color of his skin will ensure that he is randomly selected out of the line for an extra security check.
Another very important conversation between Kaz and Zoe is the same when he says that, how do you ask we're different? You're British, I am British born.
Yeah.
So there's an entire sequence, entire scene where he narrates what despite being
British, everybody will always ask, what is your origin? But originally, where are you from?
But what are the differences or the different questions or the different attitudes or the different sort of the way people treat you, even though you're British, just but judging by the color of your skin. So my favorite thing about this film, because it's got such a long title, so I'm just going to refer it to as the film.
What's Love?
What's Love is the writing.
Yeah.
I think Jemima Khan has done such an incredible job. The humor, the characters, and the beautiful mix between the British and sort of the Pakistani cultures, and they're getting together. That's, I think, a complete and total winner, and that's what makes it a really fun and enjoyable watch.
So I asked her that, have you written this as a Pakistani or a
my favorite question that you asked.
And she said that you'll have to watch the film and tell me. I think she's written it as a Britisher who is really in love with Pakistan, because it's really written from the heart. And there are parts where you feel like, a Pakistani would write that, So there are bits where you feel, okay, fine. But not at all do you feel that it's alien to a Pakistani writer.
That's the beauty of it. So as a Pakistani, you wouldn't, there are so many references, like that one reference where she said, I smoke and sometimes I drink also. And they're like, can I say this?
Yeah.
Yes. And he's like, yeah, some red wine is fine for digestion or something.
Medicinal purpose,
but I've never had pork. Of course, you're Muslim, beta. So that kind of that
is only somebody who understands
the culture, the fabric of the Pakistani society as well.
Absolutely.
And listen, I mean, none of us are perfect, right?
Yeah.
And that has what has been shown in the film.
Yeah.
Ek aur jo track, I won't again go into the details, but there's another track that goes on to show that, we're all flawed. But then this is what it is, right?
Yeah.
This is what it is. What do you do about that?
Yeah.
You don't disown your people, or you don't shun them out completely, or you don't say, okay, you don't exist. Get lost or get out of it.
There are some really emotional moments in the film.
There are quite a few.
We won't say because
there are quite a few moments.
I mean, I got teary at one point.
Yeah. But at the core, it's a really fun and entertaining watch because it's funny in the right amount.
Yeah.
Like, the humor is on. The entire world is familiar with British humor.
Yeah.
But add on to it a tadka of Pakistani humor, which Jemima has got now, thanks to her experience in Pakistan. So it's a beautiful mix of British and Pakistani humor that really works in its favor. So especially those who are in Britain, they'd love watching it. But here in Pakistan, people who have a certain association with British culture, or who are fond of the British culture, or who've seen British content, or who, have any association with British values or culture, they'd also really enjoy watching it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, ye ho gaya. Dusra, as far as performances are concerned, of course, Lily James and Shehzad, they've done such a fine job.
Absolutely.
They're both fantastic. Shabana ji.
Her comic timing is so good. Immaculate. It's like spot on, Aise karke phekti hain wo, and you're like, oh God, spot on.
Jeff Mirza, who himself is such an entertainer, stand-up comedian, also very, very funny. And finally, Sajjal.
जी.
अब सज्जल के बारे में आप पहले बात करें, फिर मैं बात करूँ.
So Sajjal plays Memuna, and we see her opening scene is on a Zoom call, Skype call with Kaz, जहाँ पे she is the prospective bride, potential suitor. वो होती है उनका सारा कुछ, और उसके बाद हम उनको of course थोड़ा करके देखते रहते हैं. My first impression was that she looks beautiful. She's been styled really lovely. She looks just like you. She looks so beautiful with the big eyes and with her demure disposition, and you're like, yeah man, marry her. She's so beautiful. Go for it. Over the next half hour of the film, or the second half of the film, मुझे ऐसा लगा that her character was not as well-rounded as I would have liked it to be. So, start उसका बड़ा अच्छा होता है. She's beautiful, all of that. But फिर मुझे ऐसा लगा कि going on, progressing in the film, there was no hook to that character.
अच्छा मैं क्योंकि हर बार जैसे कहता हूँ दो पर्सपेक्टिव्स होते हैं तो मेरा भी इसके ऊपर एक नजरिया है दो चीजों का like I have two opinions.
Yeah, we get it.
Two opinions on it. One, if you judge Sajal purely on the merits of her performance, I think she did a fine job. Especially that initial conversation on Skype where, he's sort of trying to have that conversation and she throws back only one word responses and replies. I thought that was really funny. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. That opening scene was perfect.
To not say a lot and yet to express or emote what you're going through, I think that's a really challenging job for an actor, and she did it really well. I really enjoyed that. I couldn't find any fault in Sajal's performance, I'll be honest. But Sajal being such a huge Pakistani star, I thought that her role did not do justice to the stature, to her stature as an actor, as such a big Pakistani movie star or a TV star. That was the problem not a problem, but that was my issue with it. Because we're so used to seeing Sajal carry entire projects on her shoulders. It was just not very nice as fans of Sajal to see her relegated into this tiny role where she doesn't have much to add to the plot.
But I disagree with that. I disagree with the role because it's an ensemble cast. Usme, theek hai yaar.
Sorry, I'm cutting you off, but I saw a poster where Sajal was not even on it.
Right.
And Sajal's name was not on it either. Right. Of course, there are posters where Sajal is on it.
Wo hai, but I still think
even when the credits are rolling in, and then I said where's Sajal's name, and Sajal's name was way down, which is understandable because.
So what are you saying? She shouldn't have done it.
No, it's fine. It's fine for our actors to try out different projects. It's actually great that.
I think it's fine because there are big actors who do small roles in Hollywood films and in international projects because it gives them that kind of exposure to world cinema and world view and how it's done outside of Pakistan. I think that exposure is very good.
That's fine, but then the expectations are there.
वो हमारी expectations हैं.
वो हमारी expectations होंगी ना हम तो.
अच्छा नहीं, but जहाँ तक performance की बात है ना, opening scene is you're spot on. It's absolutely perfect. When she's sitting in front of the Skype with the dupatta and she's demure and she's giving monosyllabic answers, that's all fine. वहाँ तक भी सही है. When they go to Lahore and they meet for the first time, वहाँ तक भी सही है. It's when she lets her guard down, I feel, that she's out of her comfort zone. I did not feel that she was comfortable after that point. Of course, we can't divulge in details because it'll be giving too much away. But when she drops her guard and you see the other side of Maimuna, that is when I feel Sajal is not in her comfort zone anymore. And I think that she fumbles. And it's like I felt that she was trying too hard to be that character. And I don't think it delivered. As Maimuna Part 1, she's very good. She's perfect. And that's how we see Sajal performance. That is a pure performance. Even at the end, when she's emotional and that one emotional scene and, and she's got tears in her eyes, she's perfect. But when she's trying to be Maimuna Point 2 and she's another character.
2.0, yeah.
2.0. There she's struggling. I feel that she tried too hard and it didn't come across as natural.
In my opinion, there was not enough of it. So the Maimuna 2.0 that you're talking about, there was so little of her that it doesn't even register.
It doesn't even register.
And so you can't even rightfully judge or you can't rightfully judge if it was a good performance or not or a bad performance.
Plus the character is confusing.
No, the character, I don't think the character is confusing.
No, the character is confusing. The thing is that what she agrees to do. She agrees to do something while having the backing and the support that she does in her family. She still agrees to this, wanting something else, and it doesn't make sense. And what she does at the end, despite all of that, is like, if you had that agency, why would you take this route anyway? It doesn't add up.
Again, all of this could
this conversation is very difficult because we can't give details.
No, but all of this, I'm saying, could have been explained also. And it would have made sense also.
But it wasn't. No?
Had there was, there was an effort made to explain it. So because there was no effort made to explain it or to get it, because that was not the focus, right?
Yeah.
Focus आपकी कहानी का अगर ये होता तो वो बता दे, आपको explain कर देते, reason भी देते, आपको समझ भी आ जाती. But since that was not the focus of the story, they didn't. अब हमारे लिए important इसलिए because Sajal is a part of it, we want to know. But for them, the focus was Zoe
and Gaz, absolutely.
Yeah. So which is why I'm saying it's okay. It makes sense.
But it's great that she's in the project. I don't think she should not have done it.
No, I'm not saying she shouldn't have not done it.
It's great that she's done it because this kind of exposure will only open doors for her, for our industry, for other actors. It's a learning experience.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to do these kinds of roles. But then again, the expectations will remain. You can't blame us for having that expectation and wanting for our star to carry that project on her shoulders like she always does. Because we're so used to seeing her like that. आप सज्जल का कोई भी अभी भी ड्रामा उठा के पाकिस्तान में देख लें, except for Ishkila. But then again, there was a problem there. Like Kuchan we have a problem because we're not getting to see enough of Sajjal.
Yeah.
So because he's such a big star, she comes with her own set of expectations that the fans have of her.
For sure.
ठीक है? To sum it up, as I said, it's a beautiful mix of British and Pakistani humor, which I think are the two best forms of humor in the world, in the entire world. It's a beautifully British Desi film, and I don't think you'd be disappointed if you watch it. Ek point tha, I read somewhere, I think it's sort of like a fair critique, where they said that, the depiction of Lahore was too, like, Androon Lahore type. Like, it was too...
So, I thank you for reminding me. मैंने ये कहा था कि why does every Lahori family ever portrayed in a film have to be inside Purana Shahar?
Why not the DHA of
Why can't they be in the model town or Gulberg or DHA?
Or the Zaman Park.
Or the Zaman Park, for sure. I saw a little autobiographical elements. There was even a cricket joke at the end. There was a googly bhi thi ek. So wo tha.
But again, it was so realistic because I kept asking you, is it actually shot in Lahore? And you said Sharmeen Ubaid Chunai had done
recreated some of Lahore's scenes,
but
not with the cast.
But was it done in Lahore? That I don't believe.
I think the scenes where the cast is not in them, they were recreated by.
Yeah, but even the scenes where the cast is there, like that scene where Rahat
has to be green screen.
If that's green screen or if that's set, then it's brilliantly done. Brilliantly done. Like if it was a set wherever it was created, I don't know if it was done in the UK or elsewhere, because we know that for ye wala jo tha Miss Marvel, they'd gone to Bangkok, Thailand mein unhone create kiya tha. We've no indication, we don't know. I don't know if the cast ever came down to Pakistan.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
Plus, it was shot in the COVID years.
So if they'd come and shot in Pakistan, we would have known. If they came so secretly and they shot then also well done. But looking at some of those scenes, I was left surprised. I was like, wow, how did they recreate Lahore and Anarkali in wherever country or wherever city they were?
They got the nuances just right.
Maybe some parts of Britain, like, most of us, maybe some parts of Birmingham or Manchester.
You have them sitting on Andaz with the Bachai Mosque behind them.
That was probably great.
Stunning scene,
Kuku's Den pe jo baithe hue the, that was probably green screen. But even that bit in Anarkali, that was so very well shot. So very well shot. It's beautiful. So I want to give a shout out to the cinematographer. I think he did a great job. Cinematography by Remy Ede Farsin. I'm so sorry. I'm really, मुझे माफ कर दे Remy भाई. Remy Ede Farsin. He's done the cinematography. Remy, great job. Great job. Runtime is 108 minutes, close to 1 hour and 48 minutes.
पता नहीं चलता. You're not.
1 घंटा 108 minutes कैसे हुआ? 100 हाँ almost ठीक है.
जी.
आप final क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
No, it's absolutely must watch. You must watch it. It's a light-hearted film. It's uplifting. It's about both cultures. I love the fact that you can see the differences in both cultures and the similarities, and it's done with a very fond eye. And it's written with a lot of fondness for both cultures. So there is no judgment passing anywhere. And you have to watch it.
You must watch it. And if you watched it, we'd look forward to your comments and we'd like to have a discussion in the comment section. If you missed out any points, do let us know what you think about the film.
Try not to give spoilers for people who have not.
Don't give spoilers, please. इसमें हम भी लिख देंगे spoiler free. We've tried not to spoil anything for you. मैं और आमना आपसे मिलेंगे कल with the hot review. तब तक के लिए खुदा हाफिज़.